Happy holidays. I've never done this before, so bear with me, but this is the potential of Zoom that can record your desktop. So this can be a useful educational tool as well as communication tool that I hope we can all use and have some fun with. So there's this little button at the bottom called Share, and I can go on here and maybe show a little PowerPoint that I prepared just for this presentation of all the latest research on diabetes over the last year and a half. So let's go through this and see how this can be a kind of a cool example of this technology. So here's a study published in August in the New England Journal of Medicine that looked at the main causes of mortality in diabetics. And as you can see, the top three are not related to things that we give to people, but it's related to what people do for themselves. Smoking, number one, physical activity. Number two, I found this somewhat surprising, marital status. Number three, if you look at the research on this, this is a little bit better for men than women. Interesting that there's a little difference there. One may give a little bit more to the other, but I won't go there. If you look at the things we do give things for, blood pressure medications, diabetes drugs, that's farther down on the list. And then this study looked at if we can control these 5 major risk factors in those who do have diabetes, we can reduce the mortality rate to equal those who don't have diabetes at all. So if we can get people to stop smoking, if we can get their hemoglobin A1C less than 7, their LDL less than 97, their blood pressure less than 140/80, and make sure they don't start spilling protein into the urine, we can reduce their mortality to equal those who've never even had diabetes, which I think is important. And often we need medications to help us do that. And this study published today, only the latest and greatest for our department in regards to information. This was just released today from JAMA, and they looked at what's the best second drug for diabetes. And metformin is the best first drug. The best second drug was not insulin or sulfonylureas. Actually, those two have been found to be most associated with increased mortality. The best ones are some of the newer drugs, as you can see at the very bottom. The blue and the orange are the GLP-1 agonists, such as liraglutide, for example, and the SGLT2 inhibitors, such as empagliflozin. The big challenge there is they're expensive. Insulin, although it's getting more expensive, and sulfonylureas are pretty cheap. So how do we control diabetes for our most vulnerable patients? Well, the good news is, although it's very difficult to do, there's something that's free that can actually reverse diabetes if we catch it early enough. And the timing is really important here because early in the onset of type 2 diabetes, we become insulin resistant. And we don't want to give drugs that increase insulin when we're insulin resistant because that creates more pro-inflammatory state that actually can worsen outcomes. So early in the disease, described here by A, when the disease is reversible and the beta cell function of the pancreas has not gotten sick enough to where it can no longer function, we do not want to give things like sulfonylureas and insulin. When we get, unfortunately, if we ever get to the B in this graph, then we do need particularly insulin to help control the diabetes. But most of the things to treat A and reverse diabetes are not things. Health is much more about what we do than what we take. So let's go to this trial, which was quite impressive. Actually, this one was published in 2017, but they looked at people with type 2 diabetes. I think it was within 6 years of the diagnosis. And they put people through a liquid diet to really have a controlled weight loss regimen. And if you look here, those who lost more than 15 kilograms of weight had a 86% cure rate of their diabetes. So this can be fairly inexpensive if someone has really good willpower. but often they need a caring interprofessional team found at the Patient Center Medical Home within the University of New Mexico Health Sciences. This is a study also published this year showing that if you have 5 out of 5 healthy lifestyles after the age of 50, you can increase your lifespan by 14 years, which is pretty darn impressive. So those 5 things were a healthy diet, a healthy weight, no smoking, moderate alcohol, and regular physical activity. And lastly, with this last slide, which is why I love working with you all, I love working here at UNM, is because of our mission. And that makes it hard to have a salary as much as other places, but karma is usually much more valuable than a new car. So this, I think, was written by a medical student, one of our medical students. She said, "We take care of people we love. We take care of people no one loves. We train all types of providers to take care of everyone." So thank you for participating in this mission. And I hope you and your family have a fantastic break and valuable, loving time together. All right, we'll see you at the end of the break. And then to stop it, I think we can just hit stop share, and then I hit this little button at the bottom that says end recording.